Yamaha Vino 2-stroke, like this. You want more top speed? If you notice, see how the belt is it stops right here. It has a capability of coming all the way up here. Same with over here. It's being restricted. There's a restrictor in here. And if you notice, see this guy here? See that? That is a restrictor. We need to remove that. That way the Variator can get full working action and we'll have a better top speed. So the main reason I took this apart is because the clutch grabs really hard, kind of bucks you when it goes to take off. It's not a smooth transaction. You can feel it really grabbing. This thing got really hot at one point in time, and now we need to deglaze this. This applies to like any scooter really. Whenever you don't have a smooth takeoff where it just kind of grabs all at once, chances are your Variator or your clutch is got really hot and it needs to be deglazed. At the same time, you can always look to see if you have one of these little washers in there, like this one. So I'll get that taken out of there. I'll deglaze the clutch, and this thing will be a whole nother animal. Hit it with an impact and pulled that nut off, and then there's a washer, and then the starter gear, and then there's this little star. You can hold that together just like that. Pull that off of there, and see these washers? We need that out. This is also a good time for you to check your rollers. You can pull these off, just like this, and you want to check to make sure that these rollers are not flattened in any way, which they are not. So that's good. Now we'll put it back together. Well, not all the way. When you put it back together, just squeeze down just like this. And the trick is squeezing it so you don't lose everything. And then we've got our two little spacers here, these guys that I'm removing. And then I need to get this clutch off. There's a little O-ring, pull that off, and the nut, I loosened it. Here's the bell. So see where it got real hot? There's some discoloration. So I'm gonna clean that off really good, and then I'm gonna take a small file and do some cross hatches in there. Also here, see these pads? These guys are discolored, so I'm gonna take a file or a razor blade and just take the smallest thin layer off of that. So this just slides off of here, so let's do that. Get some carburetor cleaner on a rag. I'm just gonna do this one-handed, but I'm just gonna clean it really, really good all in there. Taking this little file and use it as a hand tool to make little cross hatches. See that? This doesn't have to look pretty. We're just doing some light cross hatches so that these pads will resurface. And also that I'll get those cleaned up as well in just a second. It's been grinded down. So the idea is when these pads, as these pads spin, if there's a centrifugal force, they open up like that, which grabs onto this guy. They work just like brake pads doing or brake shoes doing a drum. So now I'll clean this guy up and it'll be completely deglazed. Okay, so what I did is I grinded this down very lightly, not the whole thing. So here's the other one, just like that, and here's the new one. Looks brand new. So just do that with a file, just like that, and all the way around. I can only do it. It's hard to do one-handed, but that's how you deglaze it. Those two things together, and you'll have a smooth running CVT. If you want to learn more about how the CVT transmission comes apart, I do have a dedicated video that talks all about this, how it comes apart, how it goes back together. It's called All About the CVT Transmission. Look it up in our library. We'll just make this say all about the Vino. Real quickly, if the scooter doesn't start after weeks of sitting, by the way, this is where your battery is. It's a very special battery. But anyway, there's an air intake hose, and it's right here. See that? That guy? See, coming back here? So what you want to do is plug that with your finger. There's a hole right there. Just plug that with your finger. And while you're cranking it over, you're creating a suction, and then it'll start. Then remove your finger from that. That's an easy solution for if the scooter's been sitting for months on end. You could try that. Also, if you're getting this little red oil light coming on, that means you're low on oil. And you've got a little access panel right here. You can pull off of there, and you just add oil right in here. 2-stroke oil. Make sure it's 2-stroke Power Sport grade oil. That's pretty much the maintenance. Real low maintenance. There's a gear oil. If you notice here, this is the drain. I've got it already kind of loose. Get it into a pan like this, and then you fill it here. If you notice, I'm at 500 milliliters. See, it says 100 cm. That's actually milliliters. That'll work as milliliters. And I'm just gonna pour it until it gets to that 400 mark. It's nice to have this little tip on it. And then you just real slowly add oil. Also, the air filter is here, and you've got like 3 bolts that hold that air filter in. That'll come off. You got a foam filter in there. You get your air filter out of the air box. It's not uncommon for it to look super clean. What you want to do is just make sure you soak up, just a bad rag, soak up any of the oils on here, and then respray it with a light oil, WD-40 or light filter oil. If your brakes are, if you're like about to touch the handle, your brake lever is going to touch the grip. You can adjust these. This is your front brake adjustment. Just turn this guy like this, and that will, you know, make it tighter. You want to make sure you don't go too tight by checking it and make sure it spins smooth. You can do the same thing on the rear with this one here. Get rid of the free play in your throttle. You could do that by this lock nut. They're tightened together. It's already loose, but you can just loosen this. Just keep spinning this out, and it will, you know, get you less free play in your throttle. You want to make sure after you do that, with the motor or scooter running, turn it to the left, turn it to the right. Make sure it's not revving up and pulling the cable. You want about I don't know, 5 millimeters of play in here. Spark plug is located right here. This is the spark plug cap. Just pull that off, and there's a spark plug. Your new spark plug will have this cap on, and your old one will look like this, and you'll wonder that you have the wrong spark plug. Just basically grab some pliers and unscrew this cap. It looks like this underneath. Also, the spark plug socket that you'll need is a 13/16. NGK brand BPR 7HS. See this screw right here? The real long one with the spring down there? Right there? That is your idle adjustment. Screw it in for a higher idle, screw it out to lower the idle. If you want to see more videos, Jesus. If you want to see more videos like this to help you along the way with your scooter, make sure you slam the subscribe button. Appreciate you watching, and comment below if you have any questions. Appreciate it.